Okay, I tried to get Unit 12 all into one video, but I talk too much. But there's so much information here. This is the last part. We're going to take a look at VAT 4 and VAT 5. I completed the table for you, and what you see here is some notes. To complete this table, I replaced the letter T in place of the number value going down the table, and then evaluated and simplified the equation down to one final answer. You can see that. I did that here. How I arrived at these answers, I gave you 3 examples at the end of the row, and just follow that pattern if you're wondering how I came up with the answers in the right side column for each of those vats of soup. Moving on, so after completing the tables, we're supposed to complete a graph, and let me call that up here, move that forward for you here. Again, my apologies for the blurriness. Again, it's not your computer monitor, it's not your eyesight either, it's the way the image was copied. Disregard this VAT number 6, that's for a problem, that's an extension problem that we don't need to repeat. But a couple of things I want to point out on this graph. If you take this table and you put it onto a graph, what you will see here is, notice where each of these lines start. They start not at the point 0, 0, but they start at the point 0, 10. And that's going to be important for those of you who need a little of enrichment or a little extension from this lesson. This part of the equation is called the y-intercept. And if you know anything about interceptions, or think about that word, oops, I can't spell intercept. It's like when you intercept a football pass, or you intercept any type of pass in any type of sporting event, it's kind of interrupting the pattern or interrupting the line. If you think of where this line starts, it kind of intercepts the y-axis, not at 0. It intercepts at a different point. So please take, this is where that constant, it's also a constant because there's no computation tied to it. It's 10 is 10 is 10. And so that's where it starts, and that's where our line starts from. So if we had to draw a unit rate triangle, we would not start at 0, 0, we would start at 0, 10 and draw our rate triangle, and the height of our rate triangle would be found here in the coefficient part of this expression. And to use some of our prior vocabulary words, these equations have 2 terms. Okay, terms are added or subtracted, and in this term right here, there's a multiplication process going on, and this number part of this term is called the coefficient, which in an equation represents the rate or the unit rate. And you might be thinking, well, how come that doesn't work as the multiplier from left to right? But it does work as the multiplier as we add 1 on the left side of our table. If we add that unit rate going down, you can find that that's where the unit rate shows up. Are these, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that this means that we are not starting at the point 0, 0 on our graph. We are starting with 10 liters of soup already in the vat, and more of that flavor is being added. Hopefully it's not old soup. Hopefully it's like fresh. They just had to refill the filling machine. Let's hope, right? Okay, so let's move that behind and answer the rest of the questions. Let's move that to the back. Okay, all right, so answering the rest of the questions, tell whether the soup is flowing into the vat at a constant rate using a table. Again, if you can find, as long as this is going up by 1, if the same amount is being added as this goes up by 1, you have a constant rate. Or you can check in the equation itself if there is a coefficient in next to a letter and that letter does not have an exponent, you have a constant rate going on. Here, you can find it here in the equation, or as you go down the table, as long as this is going +1, +1, +1, this one's going up +3, +3. So there's your rate, 3 to 1, 3/1. So both of these equations do have a constant rate. And if you remember the graph from the previous portion of this video, these were straight lines. They were not curved or arched in any way. And I could draw a unit rate triangle, over 1, up 2. And this that 5 would be over 1, up 3. What does the 2 stand for and what does the 3 tell you? Again, that's your unit rate at which the soup is going into the vat per 1, and in this case per 1 second. What does the 10 in the equation mean? That means that there was a constant. In other words, there was an amount of soup already in the container, and then we added to that amount. And this won't change. That's why it's referred to as a constant in our equations. So hopefully that helps. And you can always, again, keep these videos. They will be in Schoology for you to refer back to if you're working on independent work in Think Central. Have a good one.